a piece of shit, Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of shit. This right here, the gambling, the failures that you've had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to, has turned you into somebody else. If that was my friend, I would be like,
she just and put my number out on her page that got 10 million followers. She did that. Putting everybody in our business, letting them know that me and Pap was together.
You just turned 30 years old. You are a world champion. You are accomplished. You have made it from out the ghetto, from the slums, from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't got no kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. Well, why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man that doesn't have anything going, has no career, no job, no income, except for the income that he's claiming off of your percentage because he's your manager?
Just a few days after Claressa Shield openly shared her dream of starting a family with Papoose, her life seemed to take a sudden, unexpected turn. In that interview, she radiated hope and excitement, speaking about building a future, welcoming children next year, and finding a way to balance motherhood with the demands of her boxing career. She appeared confident, deeply in love, and at peace with both her personal and professional life. Fans believed she had finally found stability and happiness. However, that sense of joy was short-lived. Almost immediately after her hopeful statements, rumors began circulating that Papoose had been unfaithful. The timing of these claims made the situation even more painful. What should have been a beautiful chapter filled with dreams and planning quickly turned into a public ordeal. Claressa went from openly discussing her future with a partner to facing whispers and accusations that threatened the very foundation of her relationship. The emotional shift was sudden and harsh, and it left many people shocked. Claressa didn't stay silent. She turned to social media to express her feelings, sharing her frustration, heartbreak, and disbelief. Her posts reflected genuine pain, not just anger or resentment. Some fans sympathized with her, understanding how deeply betrayal can hurt. Others, however, were far less forgiving. Many pointed to a saying that has been repeated for generations: "You lose them the same way you get them." In Claressa's case, that phrase seemed to carry particular weight. Papoose had started his relationship with Claressa while still married to Remy Ma. At the time, Claressa chose to trust him, believing that their connection was real and different from his past. She seemed certain that their love was meaningful and genuine. Now, many people believe that history might have repeated itself, with Claressa experiencing the same behavior she once overlooked. Early on, Claressa viewed Remy Ma as a bitter ex-wife who wouldn't let go. She interpreted Remy's warnings as jealousy or resentment, rather than genuine concern. To Claressa, Remy's words sounded like an attempt to interfere with her happiness. Yet, looking back, some of those warnings are being reconsidered. Remy had claimed that Papoose didn't truly love Claressa, and that he was relying on her for financial support, stability, and a comfortable lifestyle. According to Remy, Papoose had struggled behind the scenes and depended heavily on Claressa's success and income. At the time, Claressa dismissed these claims, thinking they were exaggerated or false. Considering the tension between the two women, her reaction was understandable. But as events unfolded, many started wondering whether Claressa had ignored warning signs that had been there all along. The drama didn't explode overnight. It had been slowly building for months. Tensions peaked when Remy Ma leaked private messages between Claressa and Papoose. Remy said she found these messages on Papoose's phone while he was asleep at Claressa's house. According to her, Papoose had stayed on the phone with Claressa and refused to leave her home. When Claressa allegedly realized Remy was listening, she ended the call immediately. Remy accused Claressa and her team of creating false narratives to make Remy appear bitter, while presenting Papoose as loyal and innocent. She demanded that Papoose publicly tell the truth, but instead, he allegedly asked her to stay quiet. That decision only fueled Remy's anger and made her more determined to speak out. Remy also made shocking claims about how Papoose spoke about Claressa in private. She said he insulted her appearance and insisted he would never take her seriously. At the same time, Remy claimed to have proof contradicting his statements and warned that she was ready to reveal everything if necessary. Before these messages became public, most people didn't even know Claressa and Papoose were involved. Once the relationship was out in the open, social media exploded with opinions, jokes, criticism, and speculation. Claressa responded, challenging how Remy could criticize her when Remy herself had rumors of involvement with other men. This back and forth kept the internet buzzing for days. Papoose initially stayed silent, leading many to think he was avoiding the conflict while letting the women fight it out publicly. Eventually, though, he spoke and his statements shocked many. On Christmas Day, Papoose posted a photo of Remy with her boyfriend, Easy the block captain, claiming that while he cared for their daughter, Remy was spending time with another man. He accused her of lying, refusing to move on, and pretending to be a victim. Papoose said that he had offered Remy a divorce, but she refused because he wouldn't lie about a past physical altercation between them. He claimed she asked him to cover up the incident, but he declined. According to him, he still had messages proving her request, but no longer felt the need to protect her image. Then Papoose dropped another bombshell. He admitted to physically confronting Easy, saying he had first shaken his hand but later discovered Easy had slept with his wife. Papoose insisted the confrontation wasn't out of jealousy, but warned that the situation could escalate further. This series of events transformed what should have been a hopeful, joyous time into a tangled story of betrayal, heartbreak, and public scrutiny. Claressa, who had been dreaming about a family and a future with her partner, suddenly found herself navigating a very public and painful personal crisis. Fans watched as her hopes collided with harsh realities, and the emotional journey she faced was both sudden and intense. After the chaos began, Remy Ma went live on social media to share her side of the story, speaking directly and clearly about what had happened. She addressed Claressa and explained that Papoose had been financially unstable and often relied on her for housing. She accused him of lying about their marriage for years and being unfaithful during her time in prison, even claiming he had fathered other children while she was incarcerated. Remy explained that relationships during prison sentences are rarely what people imagine, and she admitted she had never truly believed he was faithful. When she returned home, Remy immediately checked Papoose's phone and discovered the extent of his actions. She described confronting women at family gatherings and slowly realizing just how far his betrayal went. According to her, Papoose refused to admit publicly that they had not shared a bed since May 2022. She said he was obsessed with maintaining the appearance of a perfect marriage because it was all he had left to hold on to. Remy claimed that she had kept that image for a long time, choosing silence over embarrassment. She also addressed rumors about money, explaining that outsiders had no idea who contributed what in their household. Remy revealed that she had purchased their home outright, paid for household expenses, and financially supported their child. She allowed Papoose to move in, only to watch him change over time due to career setbacks and gambling habits. Speaking directly to Claressa, she suggested that if Claressa truly cared about the truth, she would have listened to these warnings. Remy reminded Claressa that she was young, successful, and free of children, with countless opportunities ahead. She questioned why Claressa would commit to a man nearly 20 years older, who lacked stability and relied on her income to maintain his life. Remy also said Papoose avoided finalizing their divorce, refused to remove his belongings from her house, and was absent from their child's life despite insisting he wanted one. She suggested that he promised Claressa a son, even though he already had one. Her live stream was emotional but deliberate. She wanted to make sure Papoose could not quietly control the narrative or move forward unnoticed. Minutes after Remy's broadcast ended, Papoose went live himself, visibly upset. He defended his actions, saying he had paused his career to support Remy during her prison sentence, using his savings to pay bills, move homes, store belongings, and visit her constantly. He said his finances were drained and that he had to return to work just to survive. Papoose accused Remy of cheating multiple times after her release, claiming he tolerated infidelity for the sake of their child. He insisted there was never an agreement for an open relationship, and that therapy failed because she broke every promise they made. He admitted to confronting Easy, the block captain, claiming it would have happened anywhere he saw him. He also highlighted the support he had provided, including paying bills, buying gifts, and sustaining Remy's lifestyle. Papoose mocked her comments about money, pointing out that she wore jewelry he had purchased. He then made another shocking revelation, claiming that Remy secretly relied on him to write her music while publicly criticizing others for using ghostwriters. According to him, He had written many of her songs without recognition or payment. What began as a private struggle had turned into a public war. Years of resentment, betrayal, and unresolved issues were now exposed for everyone to see. While Remy appeared bitter, many now believe she may have been honest when warning Claressa. Rumors even suggest Papoose may already be involved with another younger woman. The public quickly reacted with criticism, jokes, and harsh commentary. This situation was particularly painful for Claressa, who had just shared her dream of becoming a mother. She had spoken about wanting children before the end of her boxing career, hoping to stay active, healthy, and fully present in their lives. Instead of moving forward with her plans, Claressa suddenly found herself caught in a messy and very public conflict. Opinions remain divided. Some feel Remy damaged her own image by revealing too much, while others believe she had every right to speak after years of silence. Many think Claressa ignored warning signs and is now paying the price. One thing is clear. This story is far from over. What started as love has spiraled into chaos, and the names of Claressa, Papoose, and Remy are now forever linked in one of the most explosive celebrity relationship sagas in recent memory. The biggest question remains: will Claressa walk away to protect her peace, or will she stay and hope things improve? Is this truly the end, or just another chapter in a story that refuses to close?